The faculties of science, education, management, commerce, arts, humanities, social science and engineering, and technology. Upon the candidates who appeared in the examinations recently and certified to be worthy of the same. I invite the Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Bhaskar Ramurthy, former Director, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, to deliver the convocation address.
Very good afternoon to everybody assembled here. Respected Governor of Tamil Nadu and Chancellor, Shri RN Ravi ji. Vice Chancellor, Professor R. Jagannathan, members of the Syndicate, Senate, distinguished guests, honorees, faculty, staff, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I deem it a privilege and honor to address the young graduates of this university today. India's higher education system has grown by leaps and bounds since independence. The number of universities has grown more than 50-fold, while the number of students enrolled in these has gone up by more than 150 times. Tamil Nadu has been in the vanguard of this growth, and Periyar University is an important contributor in this regard to the state and to the nation. This university is very young, as universities go, having just celebrated its silver jubilee recently. I wish to congratulate the faculty, staff, and students of the university for their unstinting contributions towards its growth, and pray that the university may attain even greater heights in the years to come. The country aspires to ensure that all those who wish to pursue university education are able to do so, and has set itself a stiff target for the gross enrollment ratio of 50% by the year 2035. It's of course a matter of great happiness that Tamil Nadu is already very close to achieving this target, if not having crossed it. The new education policy envisions a flexible credit-based system with multiple entries and exits that will enable students to earn their degrees through a variety of pathways consistent with their need to probably work while they study, or pivot from skills-based diplomas to more broad-based degrees, or take a break from education to discharge other responsibilities that they may have, and so on. This flexibility that is being sought to be introduced, I believe, is a very important aspect of higher education that we have missed till now. And I think every Indian is a valuable, arguably the most valuable resource of the nation, and deserves the widest possible opportunity to discover her passion, educate herself to become an expert or arinya in the chosen field, and contribute to her family, profession, and country to the fullest. In the next 25 years, therefore, our universities should endeavor to provide the most flexible opportunities to students at various stages in their lives to train or retrain themselves, educate or re-educate themselves to become more productive in their respective professions, or to even change professions. This is something we have not been doing till now for various reasons. I think I urge all universities to look at this and innovate to make this possible. At IIT Madras, we are doing quite a bit in this regard. The students, now I want to address the students, and there are 3 points that I would like to make. One is very well known to all of you, but I want to reiterate it because it's an important day in your life when you're going out with your degrees, that learning is a lifelong exercise. Even if it's not at the same intensity and pace for your entire life, in the next few years, at least another 7 to 8 years, will be a period of intense learning. I want to emphasize that. I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about what it means to be a citizen of a country which is going to go from low middle income or low income to middle income status. Our GDP, as you might have be reading, is going from 3-point-something trillion dollars to probably $7 or $8 trillion in the next 10 years, when you are all going to be at the prime of your working life. What does it mean to us or to you as an individual? I would like to talk about this. And the third point I would like to talk about is What does it mean to be entrepreneurial? And in that context, how can one be of use to others? How can one be generous? How can one do things for others, especially the ones who are more fortunate amongst us? These are the 3 points I want to make, so bear with me. Those of you, the students and scholars who are receiving your degrees today, awards and ranks, some of them, are therefore India's investment capital because of what's going to happen in the next 25 years for building a better future for yourselves and for the country. With your innate talents, skills and acquired knowledge, you will provide valuable expertise and skills in of your profession. Learning is a process that lasts much longer than the duration of a typical university degree program. You must have spent 4 or 5 years, or maybe if you're doing a PhD, a little longer. But this is not where you can say that you have completed your learning phase. In fact, many aver, quite truthfully, that learning is a lifelong pursuit. That is true. However, becoming a Vidwan or achieving Pandityam takes a decade or more at least. And it's this capability, this skill, this knowledge is acquired partly in the classroom, but most of it as a trainee or apprentice, working in some company or working with an expert, and through experience gained on the job. The country is currently growing from being the 5th largest global economy to becoming the 3rd largest. And this cannot be achieved by a mere increase in the number of working age citizens. As you add more working age citizens to the population, of course, the GDP grows, and that's been an important contributor in our growth. But that cannot be the only one as you try to reach the higher levels of income, productivity. A large part of the growth has to be achieved by an increase in our productivity, not just in our numbers, by sharpening our expertise and skills and improving our competitiveness. The first step towards doing this, towards transforming ourselves into skilled, productive practitioners of whatever we are going to do, is arming oneself with a high-quality education, like the one you have just completed. With a razor-sharp focus on achieving excellence, I think our individual focus must be, how do I become excellent in what I'm doing, what I know? Our traditions in this, from time immemorial, whatever our traditions we have in our country, thousands of years, are very exacting in this regard. When we look at any field of human pursuit, where our tradition of thousands of years has not been broken, we've had many traditions that were broken because of our history of being colonized and ruled by foreigners, but there are some traditions which have been unbroken across millennia. If you look at those, and for example, music, dance, culture, making of jewelry, culinary arts, cooking, or literature, our teachers have always been very demanding, very exacting, and standards have been very high. The titles that we often give to people who are really good in these professions, we call them Pandit, we call them Vidwan, we call them Arinyar. These are not earned by applying for them and writing exams. These are bestowed on them by people spontaneously, and always only on the deserving. We rarely find somebody being referred with these titles who doesn't deserve it. How does this happen? We don't have a formal way of doing it, and yet it happens very well. That is what our tradition tells us. We have to bring the same pursuit of excellence into our modern education system also, and not be satisfied with marks, degrees, first-class degrees, prizes, and so on. Those are good, those are important signs of encouragement, but that's not what we should be satisfied with. Each of us knows in our own bones, we know when we have achieved a certain degree of proficiency in our field. We don't need others to tell us that. And we cannot fool ourselves by looking at our mark sheet. Till we achieve this goal, our single-minded pursuit should be learning, learning, and more learning. This learning, as I already just mentioned, will be in the classroom, will be at the workplace, and will be from general observation and reading, not just in your own specialization, but across the board. Everybody must read about general economics, law, and what's happening in the cultural and literary fields. All our choices of where to study, whom to work for, what to observe and read should be driven by this desire to learn and maximize the opportunities for doing so. It's a well-known aphorism that chance meets the prepared mind. But I actually prefer to say that chance meets the eager and hungry mind. If If you are in this frame of mind where you are eager and hungry, you will not fail to notice the opportunities that present themselves for learning. Very often these opportunities don't present themselves with big bold banners. They come under cover of a modest salary. The best opportunity for learning might come from a job that actually has only a modest salary, or from a very demanding supervisor who first appears to be somebody you don't want to work for, or a less branded organization, an organization that is not considered the top organization, or everybody says, oh, you have got into this company or that organization. It's not that kind, but yet this other organization, which is run very well, provides the best opportunity for somebody to learn. You have to recognize those and take advantage of those and not pass them by. You have to have that hunger to learn. Only then you will recognize it. This is the first point I wanted to make, and I think the graduating class of today is a symbol and that is being reshaped by each of us as we go about our lives. We, of course, go about our lives. That's our primary focus. But as we do that, we reshape the country. We all have to work tirelessly to make each day of ours better than the last, better than yesterday. You're therefore a symbol of the nation's desire to cultivate talent, reward excellence, and attain the world's highest standards in all aspects of human endeavor. Now I'll come to the second point. And we should dwell a little bit more on what the impending economic growth of our nation, which I just mentioned about, implies as each of us, and each of you particularly, because some of us are close to retirement, go through your working lives. For several decades, in fact, including the ones in which many of you grew up, the country was clawing its way up, literally finding its way up, step by step from utter poverty and deprivation. When one starts from very low income levels, it takes many doublings of the economy to begin to notice some difference. Even today, we have people and families who are poor and deprived because not everybody is able to rise the same way. Even if the numbers of such poor and deprived people is going down every day. Nevertheless, a large number of people are coming out of extreme poverty too, each year, due to their own efforts primarily and the helping hand of the state and of the country. Many of you who are graduating today will recognize your own families as being among those that have escaped from poverty in your lifetime, or are very likely to do so in the near future, maybe thanks to what you are going to do for the family. Most of us tend to assume that the challenges of the future would be similar to those of the past. This business of trying to find a footing and get out of extreme deprivation or serious deprivation. However, the reality is that the challenges that many of you are likely to face will be very different in the oncoming 25 years, or Amrita Kalam, as it is being referred to. And this is important to understand, because if you sort of make all your decisions based on a certain assumption about how the environment, the life is going to be, you may end up making not so good decisions for yourself. It is useful to think of the country's income, what we call the GDP or the national income, on a per family basis, in addition to the usual per capita and total income for the country and so on. I often wonder why economists don't do this more often. I found it very useful. Maybe it is because the family has ceased to be an important unit in many of the advanced economies. Maybe that's why modern economic practices don't focus so much on this. A family in India today consists of around 5 people on average, whereas the number is much closer to 3 in many advanced economies. It's 2 point something, 3. That's an important thing. Think about it, okay? For the same population, we'll have half the number of families as any of those countries. For most factors that affect the quality of life, it is the family's income that matters. A 3-bedroom BHK home can accommodate a family of 5 as well as it accommodates a family of 3. A car can be as useful for a family of 5 as for a family of 3. The effort required to cook a healthy meal, ultimately, no matter what we do, our food, our daily food meals are very important. The effort required to do it properly, which dominates the cost of the meal as income grows. Initially, the cost of the food is, the material that goes into the meal is what matters when you're very poor. But once you are eating better, it's the cost of preparing the meal properly that dominates. This is the same, irrespective of whether you're cooking for 3, 5, or even 8 people. And most importantly, the cost of elderly care, looking after our elderly parents, grandparents, which dominates 80% of the healthcare costs of the advanced economies. We read about the huge healthcare cost in the advanced economies. 80% of that is just the people who are required to look after the elderly. It's not the medical care that we all imagine. This is much lower if we take care of our parents and grandparents within our families, rather than outsourcing it to an old age home. Therefore, if we make our choices correctly in the coming decades, and this is very important because we may actually be richer than on a per family basis than even countries with twice our national GDP. So we shouldn't just simply go by those numbers that you see in charts. To be sure, what matters for national security and infrastructure and so on, what the country has, is the national GDP, right? That's what matters for those things. Irrespective of the population, there may be a country with a small population or a country with a large population, given its area and given its geopolitical situation, the cost of protecting the country, cost of providing infrastructure is the same, irrespective of how many people live there. However, what matters for the quality of life of the citizens is the per family income, more than the per capita income. And decide whether we want to retain our family structure, whether we want to continue to live frugally, whether we share more rather than less, not just within our family, but even extending to our communities. So let us not get carried away by comparisons with other countries on the number of houses, number of cars, number of old age homes, or the healthcare budgets. These are not going to give you the true picture. These comparisons do not make sense across countries with very different social and family structures. Also, it is very clear that the route taken by most advanced economies, I would say almost all of them, of very small families and outsourcing all home-related activities, whether it is cooking, elderly care, even handholding of the children, to formal professionals, supposedly who do it better than yourself. This has only led to spiraling costs and actually worsening outcomes. I therefore urge you to not only focus on building up your own knowledge and expertise, which is what I talked about first, as you step out into the world, but also think about the choices you'll have to make in the years ahead. And this generation is the one that's going to have to make all these important choices. They appear on the surface to be related only to maximizing your own income, which job gives you the best income, which profession is the best one to get into, how to retrain yourself to improve your income, should we do an MBA? These are, of course, straightforward choices. But at the deeper level, the choices that I talked about will determine whether you're going to be better off as a family, the family that you belong to, or not. Where we are going to be as a nation when we celebrate the centenary of our independence will be determined by both these aspects: how each of us trains ourselves, equips ourselves, make ourselves experts, and the choices we're going to make about how we're going to live. 2 or 3 decades ago, the focus was only on getting some kind of capability to get some income, right? It was almost given that we would pull together as families and communities, because we were in such a bad shape that unless you did that, you are actually not, you're not going to be able to manage. But now there are going to be choices to make. And I think I want to urge you to avoid the pitfall of falling for the mirage of apparently higher incomes and seemingly more individual freedoms. But think carefully about the choices that you have to make as you go ahead in your career, the next 25, 30, 35 years. I'm confident that Periyar University has given you the right environment and foundation to prepare you for this exciting journey. Many of you may have spent these years laboring under several constraints, including financial. And I'm sure the trials you have faced have only made you stronger to overcome the challenges of the future. And now I come to the last point I want to make. I hope I have not bored you. The world is today driven by very fast-paced changes, probably too fast for many of us used to more human scales of time. These changes have brought us material benefits, continue to bring us material benefits. The phone itself, it's an area of technology where I work in. You can see what it has done in the last 20 years for making our lives more productive, more comfortable, and probably also has some negative aspects which we all know about. But many of these changes also impact livelihoods. Some of you might remember, yes, when you were children, these signboards, billboards that used to be painted by people. There used to be so many people who used to paint billboards, advertisements. Painters of signs, they are called. They took pride. RN Ravi even wrote a story about one such painter of signs. So they took pride in their work. They thought they were doing something that society wanted, and they were earning a decent living. Overnight, they were rendered jobless by the advent of what we call flex printing technology. Today, all you have to do is compose something, give it to the printer, and they print it on plastic and give it to you, and done, right? Likewise, the impending AI revolution, it's all in the news. It's raising the specter of huge loss of jobs. A lot of fear in people. In several categories, people are trying to figure out which categories, which professions will lose jobs. Even as it opens up new opportunities for new types of jobs. This is why it is going to be even more important, the first point that I made of continuous learning and relearning and re-education, because you have to cope with these changes. Some of us will be better at this, and some of us not so good at this. This is the way, the statistical variation in human beings. Some of us will be more successful at navigating all these changes and challenges, and others not so successful. However, there is enough in this world for everyone to live without deprivation. While some of us may be blessed, there's no reason anyone should be left wanting for the necessities of life, especially as our country grows into middle income status. Across the country, across the millennia, about leading simple lives, fulfilling our needs but not our greed. Gandhiji himself has spoken about this. About extending a helping hand whenever we can and to whoever that needs it, and caring for our environment and Mother Earth, from whence we all came and to which we definitely will all return. This business of extending a helping hand is the last thing I want to talk about. It's customary to think about it as sharing of our money, whatever excess that we have, sharing of our resources. Certainly, of course, those are important, but actually it is much more. And that is important in the context of this fast-moving world. Those of us who are able to adapt better, those of us who find ourselves in a good position to adapt to these changes and do well in life, we must not only do well in our own jobs, but we must use our ability to not just do well in our jobs by adapting, but we must also use this knowledge and skills that we are able to learn to create more opportunities for others, including those who adapt more slowly. So I'm not now talking only about giving a helping hand with money or with teaching somebody something, but I'm actually talking about changing this environment so that people who are less fortunate, who are a little slower to adapt, can also have good jobs. Not everyone who creates jobs is an entrepreneur. Your Vice Chancellor spoke about the importance of entrepreneurship, innovation, and how Periyar University is doing quite well in this regard. But not everyone has to be an entrepreneur. You can be entrepreneurial without being an entrepreneur. So you may be employed in an organization, and you may be very good at adapting to this fast-paced changes. You may actually learn the new skills required, and you may be able to do very well in the company. What you have to do is, and you may improve the productivity of the organization as a whole, but when doing so, you can try to do this in such a way that the organization creates more jobs. And maybe you develop the systems, the ways of operating, the ways of functioning, the ways of manufacturing, or the ways of doing the analysis, whatever it is, whichever role you are in such a way that people who are less quick to adapt, people who are less fortunate to have your ability, can also keep up and become productive. So there's a way to give, which is somewhat different from the traditional way of giving, which has been there with us over the centuries, which I want you to think about. The onus is therefore on those amongst us who, by virtue of our endowment or other fortuitous reasons, we are able to pull ahead of others and appear to be quote-unquote more successful. We have to create the opportunities for others to ride along with us, improve their lives, and all of us, therefore, can then contribute to the growth of the nation. Because that's the only way this country can really become middle income, higher income, and so on. because we're not going to add too many people anymore. Our population is stabilizing. This, what I just talked about, is as much an act of giving as the more hallowed and established acts of charity. So these are the 3 points I wanted to make. I hope I've drilled it in quite a bit. Please think about it. You make up your own minds. Well, that's what the education is for. But please think about these things. So now I'd like to end, and before I end, I'd like to congratulate all the graduates today who are being bestowed their degrees. It's been a long and arduous journey. I remember my own, for each of you and for your parents who have provided you the crucial support and encouragement that you needed. While you can most deservedly pat yourself on the back today, you do owe lifelong gratitude to your parents and to the education institutions that shaped you, starting from the school right up to this university, and to your colleges where you studied, which has prepared you for launching you into your professional lives. You should also not forget that you belong to the fortunate 25% at a national level. In Tamil Nadu, it's closer to 50% of your cohort. That means people who are born with you, who were able to get into college or university in the first place. This has to do with the point that I just made about how you can help others. I urge you to give back in good measure as and when you are in a position to do so, to your family, to your school, to your college, to your university, and to society. I also wish to thank the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, and management of Periyar University for inviting me to be amongst you on this important day. I look forward to every such invitation that I get to visit a sister university, because it gives me an opportunity to learn about the strides being made across the country in the pursuit of knowledge. And that gives me a lot of happiness to see how things are improving everywhere. Periyar University has a great future, and I wish all the faculty and students great success in their endeavors. Those of you who are graduating today may not realize that Indians of your generation are living through one of the best periods in our country in recent centuries. The scars of foreign rule and colonialism are nearly healed, and we are able to stand on our own feet and begin to sprint. You will see the maximum changes in your lives when compared to the generations that went before you since independence. I therefore wish you all the best in this on all of you. May you bring glory to yourselves, your families, and your country. Jai Hind.
Let the candidates be now presented.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Science in the Faculty of Science in this university. Dajuddin M. Botany, Pannitselvam A. Botany, Vasigaran B. Zoology, Anbarasan PM Physics. Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science in this university. Sopana K. Biochemistry, Sobana Devi B. Biochemistry, Maithili G. Biochemistry, Sivai Ilango G. Biochemistry, Jhansi Isbila Rani A. Biochemistry, Sangeeta Devi G. Biochemistry, Valli Priya R. Biochemistry, Sudha V. Biochemistry, Kritika N. Biochemistry, Venkatachalam M. Biochemistry, Bhubalan S. Biotechnology, Anjali Kumari Biotechnology, Saqib Ali Biotechnology, Maya MR Biotechnology, Sudha KG Biotechnology, Rajashekar B Biotechnology, Anusha Biotechnology, Lalita K Biotechnology, Pratibha T Biotechnology, Sarnya Devi S Biotechnology, Sendil Kumaran S Biotechnology and Medicine Interdisciplinary, Karthik Raj D Botany, Jodhimani K Botany, Selvi P Botany, சிவசக்தி வி பாட்டனி, ராஜேஸ்வரி ஆர் பாட்டனி, மீனாட்சி ஆர் பாட்டனி, ராமச்சந்திரன் எம் பாட்டனி, வான்மதி எஸ் பாட்டனி, மகேந்திரன் எம் பாட்டனி, ரம்யா எஸ் பாட்டனி, வினோ பி பாட்டனி, விஜயா டி பாட்டனி, உமா மகேஸ்வரி ஜி பாட்டனி, லலிதா எஸ் பாட்டனி, முருகன் எஸ் பாட்டனி, நித்யா பி பாட்டனி, சந்தோஷ் சி பாட்டனி. தாமரை செல்வி எல் பாட்டனி பயோடெக்னாலஜி, வடிவேல் எஸ் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, திலீப் பி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, சுபாசினி கே கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, பிரியா பி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, ஸ்ரீதேவி எஸ் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, சாந்தா சி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, கோமதி டி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, சின்னதுரை ஜி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, புவனேஸ்வரி கே கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, ரெஞ்சி ராஜேந்திரன் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, பிரியா பி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, ஏஞ்சலின் மேரி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, திவ்யா எஃப் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, கார்த்திக் எஸ் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, விஜயபிரிதா எஸ் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, கோகுல்நாத் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, செந்தில் குமரன் ஜி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, சரண்யா ஏ கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, இளவரசன் ஏ கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, சரவணகுமார் பி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, கீதா கே என் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி, மணிவண்ணன் வி கெமிஸ்ட்ரி. தேங்க்யூ சார்.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science in this university. Turai Raju P. Chemistry, Bharati M. Chemistry, Sangeeta R. Chemistry, Priya G. Chemistry, Madina M. Chemistry, Lavanya P. Chemistry, Nagasundaram N. Chemistry, Rajapriya R. Chemistry, Pandimuthu G. Chemistry, Kanagaraj E. Chemistry, Sasireka A. Chemistry, Muttamin Arasu A. Chemistry, Singaravelu P. Chemistry, Mohanapriya S. Chemistry, Sivaranjani K. Chemistry, Savita K. Chemistry, Ramachandran R. Chemistry, Prem Kumar M. Chemistry, Thirumal M. Chemistry, Suralivel C. Chemistry, Maheshwari T. Chemistry, Arivichudar R. Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics, Manigandan G. Computer Science, Kaviyarasi R. Computer Science, Ganapati Subramaniam B. Computer Science, Mahima S. Computer Science, Menaka G. Computer Science, Anita S. Computer Science, Samundiswari K. Computer Science, Surya P. Computer Science, Soumya C. Computer Science, Divya Prabha V. Computer Science, Anthony Paul Raj A. Computer Science, Saravanan N. Computer Science, Kavita G. Computer Science, Somasegara Reddy D. Computer Science, Dharani T. Computer Science, Kartiga E. Computer Science, Saravana Priya K. Computer Science, Sivagami K. C. Computer Science, Kaliswaran V. Computer Science, Saktiswari M. Computer Science, Chitra Devi B. Computer Science, Raja P. S. Computer Science, Hemalata M. Computer Science, Selvaraj S. Computer Science, Vidya E. Computer Science, Anthony Pilomin Raj S. Computer Science, Vijay Lakshmi V. Computer Science, Selvam L. Computer Science, Kavita S. Computer Science, Satish C. Computer Science, Parveen N. Computer Science, Tamilarasi V. Computer Science, Sangeeta M. Computer Science, Rajeshwari D. Computer Science, Geeta S. Computer Science, Malini Prema Kumari W. Computer Science, Sridevi U. Computer Science, Brinda P. Computer Science, Satya P. Computer Science, Velmurugan M. Computer Science, Vijaya Kumar P. Computer Science, Jagan Raj J. Computer Science. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science in this university. Sangeeta A. Computer Science, Mageshwari V. Computer Science, Gurumurthy K. Computer Science, Roshni Mol P. Computer Science, Rajagopal C. Computer Science, Damodara Vadani S. Computer Science, Sandrila R. Computer Science, Purnima B.K. Computer Science, Jayalakshmi R. Computer Science, Khalimullah A. Computer Science, Aruna Devi N. Computer Science, Amsini P. Computer Science, Nandini P. Computer Science, Silambarasan S. Computer Science, Sumalata M. Computer Science, Satyapriya T. Computer Science, Dhanarasu M. Energy Science, Arun V. Physics Interdisciplinary with Energy Science, Vasudevan P. Environmental Science, Lakshmanan R.M. Environmental Science, Karmugil Nilavan R.S. Biotechnology with Environmental Science Interdisciplinary, Shanmugapriya A. Food Science and Nutrition, Ramajaba S. Food Science and Nutrition, Karen Hapuk Susan S. Food Science and Nutrition, Bhuvaneshwari R. Food Science and Nutrition, Subhashini V. Food Science Technology and Nutrition, Gayatri M. Food Science and Nutrition, Nawabjan A. Food Science and Nutrition, Madangi S. Food Science and Nutrition, Indumadi D. Food Science and Nutrition, Abita S. Food Science and Nutrition, Muhammad Rizwan K. Geology, Gangadharan T. Geology, Manjunathan N. Geology, Pemmaya Kasumva Geology, Satish Kumar S. Geology, Punguri R. Geology, Ravindranath I.G. Geology, Sundareshwaran N. Library and Information Science, Priya S. Library and Information Science, Temuli G. Library and Information Science, Bhubari P. Library and Information Science, Mohanathan P. Library and Information Science, Kasimani C. Library and Information Science, Uma T. Library and Information Science, Ritu Puri, Library and Information Science, Rija Nazari, Library and Information Science, Priyadarshini R. Library and Information Science, Bhanupriya V. Mathematics, Atkins Wesley Mathematics, Tirumurugan A.S. Mathematics, Bhuvaneshwari K. Mathematics, Nityakala G. Mathematics, John Christopher A. Mathematics, Jyoti Lakshmi B. Mathematics, Loganagi S. Mathematics, Pandikani M. Mathematics, Timmangani R. Mathematics, Rajesh Kannan T. Mathematics, Sivabalan J. Mathematics, Pauline Elilarasi A. Mathematics, Kumar G. Mathematics, Brinda R. Mathematics, Meenakshi S. Mathematics, Magendran M. Mathematics. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiner to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science in this university. Raudri M. Mathematics, Kohila C. Mathematics, Soundararajan C. Mathematics, Selva Kumar P. Mathematics, Gopala Krishnan P. Mathematics, Jayakumar C. Mathematics, Neeraja A. Mathematics, Sivaraman K. Mathematics, Nandini R. Mathematics, Muttamil Arasi Mathematics, Naladambi K. Mathematics, Vanita S. Mathematics, Ramaswamy P. Mathematics, Ramkumar S. Mathematics, Sugapriya K. Mathematics, Ramya Devi S. Mathematics, Soundarya K. Mathematics, Pumalai P. Mathematics, Mohanapriya A. Mathematics, Lavanya T. Mathematics, Vinod Kumar C. Mathematics, Saravanan K. Mathematics, Sivaraman G. Mathematics, Ilayaraja R. Mathematics, Jayanti S. Mathematics, Nagajodi N. Mathematics, Batmavati V. Mathematics, Niranjana Banu M. Mathematics, Maheshwari C. Mathematics, Devi Priya R. Mathematics, Gopal T. Mathematics, Sudha A. Microbiology, Muhammad Mustafa B. Microbiology, Jayajodi Prabhavi Microbiology, Ram C.B. Microbiology, Palaniswamy N. Microbiology, Abhirami K. Microbiology, Minedida K. Microbiology, Balakrishnan K. Microbiology, Sivasankari N. Microbiology, Rajalakshmi A. M. Microbiology, Mohana Sundari C. Microbiology, Sri Ramani M. Microbiology, Kaviyarasan G. Microbiology, Sasirega S. Microbiology, Biochemistry Internship, Venkatesh G. Physics, Govindamal M. Physics, Lada N. Physics, Prabhu S. Physics, Kalyan G. Physics, Krishnamurthy P. Physics, Muniyappan M. Physics, Nitya R. Physics, Soumya S. Physics, Revati M. Physics, Sagundala Devi R. Physics, Chitra R. Physics, Marimuthu G. Physics, Govindarasu R. Physics, Ramamurthy M. Physics, Ayiladeswari S. Physics, Sivakumar T. Physics, Selvi S. Physics, Venkatesan A. Physics, Kavita S. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Science in this university. Asina S. Physics, Arachimani P. Physics, Prabhakaran P. Physics, Meenakshi R. Physics, Monisha P. Physics, Annadurai L. Physics, Ramesh G. Physics, Setu P. Physics, Vidya G. Parveen A. Physics, Rajalakshmi N. Physics, Sabari Lakshmi M. Physics, Sinnatambi M. Physics, Chitra Devi R. Physics, Maulika V. Physics, Venkatesan K. Physics, Sivaraj G. Physics, Agalya P. Physics, Krishnamurthy G. Physics, Panimalar S. Physics, Jayalakshmi P. Physics, Srinivasan S. Physics, Kirtana M. Physics, Muthu D. Physics, Arivalagan R. Physics, Kartikeyan S. Physics, Chandrasekhar M. Physics, Vijayanand S. Physics, Perumal V. Physics, Priyadashni M. Physics, Vijayan R. Physics, Tamil Selvi C. Physics, Suresh B. Physics, Suganya S. Physics, Jagannathan R. Physics, Hande G. Physics, Inia P. Physics, Nitya P. Physics, Subhash M. Physics, Agalya P. Physics, Bhaskaran U. Psychology, Nagaraj M. Psychology, Nandini P. Psychology, Ramya A. Statistics, Geeta C. Statistics, Sri Vidya K. Statistics, Prabhu S. Statistics, Priya G. Statistics, Uma S. Statistics, Nanapriya K. Statistics, Kirtik Vairamariappan Statistics, Jayabharati S. Statistics, Pavitra M.R. Statistics, Vidya M. Textiles and Apparel Design, Kohila R. Geology, Meena D. Geology, Dhanam S. Geology, Solayappan A. Geology, Kalpana Devi KK Geology, Manimegalai T. Geology, Kanagaraj M. Geology, Raghuvaran K. Geology, Elangalni Geology, Meenambigai K. Geology, Paramasivam M. Geology, Vinitha R. Geology, Velavan R. Geology. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education, Management and Commerce in this university. Parthiban V. Education, Edward David Education, Sri Priya S. Education, Ramesh T. Management, Surya Prakash VM Management, Revati S. Management, Suganya C. Management, Karnamurthy VP Management, Subramaniam Reddy M. Management, Lalit Chandra BN Management, Jyoti S. Management, Britti Priya Malar A. Management, Sudha V. Management, Sirpi M. Management, Syed Muhammad Hussain Management, Amsavani C. Management, Suganya B. Management, Kasturi P. Management, Dachinamurthy P. Commerce, Naveen Kumara R. Commerce, Nadia D. Commerce, Shekhar S. Commerce, Ramesh S. Commerce, Angamuthu S. Commerce, Premalata R. Commerce, Chandran N. Commerce, Kusuma HS. Commerce, Parnidharan R. Commerce, Sugaj G. Commerce, Renuga A. Commerce, Ganeshan M. Commerce, Bhima Boy K. Commerce, Rasika K. Commerce. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Arts in this university. Tavamani M, Economics, Mahija Bin, Economics, Suresh Kumar G, Economics, Shaheen Banu, English, Gomati R.D., English, Murthy R., English, Jeeva C, English. Radha M, English. Kanagaselvan R, English. Koralia RP, English. Bhaskar G, English. Soumya T, English. Jaya Devi JV, English. Joshua Yanaraj P, English. Shanti A, English. Kalai Velmani P, English. Chandra V, English. Shaktivel P, English. Kalyana Sundaram R, English. Kannadasan K, English. Rajeshwari R, English. Hemaruba JH, English. Bhuwani D, English. Prabhu S, English. Abhirami K, English. Uma Mageshwari A, English. Ambiga J, English. Shubhiksha J, English. Muthukumar A, English. Saranya Devi P, English. Subha S, English. Steffi R, English. Shyamala B, English. Saranya V, English. Kavita P, English. Sasikala AD, English. Ramesh P, English. Jacob A, English. Divya K, English. Kirtana K, English. Elilarasi T, English. Sangeeta J, English. Aravind M, English. Shanmugam S, English. Kavita P, English. Divya S, English. Deviga S, English. Saranya NK, English. Sendil Kumar P, English. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you that candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Arts in this university. Balakrishnan R. History, Kavita P. History, Nithila K. Political Science, Anjana V. R. Chandran, Sociology, Ajit R. Pillai, Sociology, Magimba Augustine L. Sociology, Premapriya M. Sociology, John Christopher J. Sociology, Tirumurthy S. Tamil, Velusamy R. Tamil, Bhuvaneshwari G. Tamil, Sangeeta K. Tamil, Sindhu N. Tamil, Jojimani T. Tamil, Suganti J. Tamil, Prabhu G. Tamil, Razambal B. Tamil, Tangarasu K. Tamil, Shivakumar M. Tamil, Murali K. Tamil, Jaya S. Tamil, Tamarai Chelvi R. Tamil, Varadarajulu S. Tamil, Nadia B. Tamil, Chennappan M. Tamil, Devi R. Tamil, Neelavadi P. Tamil, Satyapriya A. Tamil, Baby K. Tamil, Muthusamy D. Tamil, Kausalya T. Tamil, Jamuna Rani B. Tamil, Bhuvaneshwari G. Tamil, Sudha B. Tamil, Yasoda D. Tamil, Sarada P. Tamil, Yasoda C. Tamil, Ambedkar A. Tamil, Tangaras M. Tamil, Jayajodi G. Tamil,
Kribanand G. Tamil, Vijayan K. Tamil, Deepa R. Tamil, Narmada T. Tamil, Jansi Rani E. Tamil, Selvarani N. Tamil, Famita N. Tamil. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the candidates who have been certified by duly appointed examiners to be qualified to receive the Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Arts in this university. Rani P. Tamil, Gomati K. Tamil, Jayanti R. Tamil, Subhatra T. Tamil, Divya Bharati C. Tamil, Umarani P. Tamil, Revati R. M. Tamil, Neivel M. Tamil, Sasikumari C. Tamil, Subhashini P. B. Tamil, Kartiga D. Tamil, Kamalashekar A. Tamil, Prabhu P. Tamil, Bharati S. Tamil, Ishwaran G. Tamil, Umadevi P. Tamil, Prakash M. Tamil, Gandhi B. Tamil, Chellamal P. Tamil, Priya P. Tamil, Revati M. Tamil, Sivaraj K. Tamil, Divya M. Tamil, Jayanti K. Tamil, Shankar R. Tamil, Sasikala Tamil, Pungodi J. Tamil, Geeta S. Tamil, Usharani R. Tamil, Sivakumar G. Tamil, Priya S. Tamil, Mohanasundari P. Tamil, Elumalai A. Tamil, Unidam B. Tamil, Indra S. Tamil, Vediyappan K. Tamil, Periyasamy L. Tamil, Anita P. Tamil, Sangeeta K. Tamil, Revati S. Tamil, Mohana A. Tamil, Anita S. Tamil, Kavita K. Tamil, Kalpana S. Tamil, Sivashankaran Tamil. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, I present unto you the gold medalist